love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad. Cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Welcome to Daikaiju Network, where we have a healthy obsession with kaiju. I am your co-host, Kent, and with me is your other co-host,
Jason. How's it going, everyone?
So here we are, we're approaching the end of the year, and what we're going to be doing with this particular episode is we're going to continue a retrospective commentary coverage that we started back in the spring, where we're going to do a commentary on the Jurassic Park / World films. And with this one in particular, we are going with Jurassic Park 3, 2001's summer semi-blockbuster, I guess, if you want to call it. But,
So little.
a little, yeah. But before we even get into that and just kind of discuss the movie a little bit, Jason, housekeeping.
Yeah, as far as housekeeping, if you see a red subscribe button down below, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as smash the like button and the notification bell icon so you can get any notifications whenever we go live or upload any new videos in the future. And you can find us everywhere in one place at our Linktree URL right there at Linktree/Daikaiju Network. And on video platforms, not only we're on YouTube, but we're on Twitch, Rumble, Facebook Live, and as well as Odyssey. And on audio platforms, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and as well as TuneIn. And you can find both our video and audio versions of our episodes at our own website at daikaijunetwork.com.
Okay, are we up to date on the audio stuff? Because I thought I checked here like an odd number of days ago, and I don't think we were exactly up to date yet.
Not quite. I've just been really busy and just been exhausted from work. So these past few weeks, so I've been needing to get around to doing that.
All right. Well, getting into Jurassic Park 3, this is a movie that, as someone who myself, obviously Jason's a fan of this series as well. I have joined a couple of Jurassic Park slash World Facebook groups. And kind of like even what I heard from different people back in 2001, this is a movie that, along with Lost World, it's sort of like, kind of like in the Godzilla franchise where it's sort of a discussion between Megalon and Godzilla's Revenge as far as the discussion amongst fans, which is the worst of the franchise. Similar with the Jurassic Park slash World for a while. It was sort of like, is it Lost World or is it Jurassic Park 3 that is the worst? And it seems like kind of like Godzilla's Revenge, Jurassic Park 3 within the Jurassic Park fandom has been sort of making a bit of a resurgence lately where people are going, yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's better than either Lost World or Fallen Kingdom or Dominion or whatever. Um, I will say this, just kind of talking about my own thoughts and feelings on the film over the years. 21 years now,
Yeah,
hard to
it's
believe.
like I can sort of remember it like it was yesterday. Both you and I went to go see at the theaters, and I think this was just
Yeah,
before I started high school. So it's been that long ago.
yeah,
Man, hard to believe.
yeah. With me personally, I mean, I like the movie. I always have liked it. However, I still consider it kind of the weakest out of the park slash world saga. But at the same time, as I say that, I think Jurassic Park 3 is still large, even though it's a very simple film. It's a movie that is just about a rescue mission and people running away from dinosaurs. There's no real plot or argument or story to it like there was with the first Jurassic Park or even the subsequent films that in the Jurassic World trilogy follow this about a decade and a half later. I always thought, though, that this movie made a couple of errors. I really thought one of the biggest errors was that, in my opinion, the best action happened within about the first 45 minutes. And then after that, I thought the movie kind of becomes less fun. I don't find a lot of the action sequences after the first 45 minutes to be as entertaining. Even the Pteranodon sequence, something that so many people were screaming that they hoped would be incorporated into a Jurassic Park film, and they finally did. Even to this day, 21 years later, I still don't think the Pteranodon sequence is all that exciting. The final Spinosaurus encounter on the river I don't think quite as exciting, and I really thought that they missed an opportunity between a Spinosaurus T Rex fight, maybe saving that for the end. I understand why they put it in where they did because the whole purpose was to show the audience who was not aware much of Spinosaurus at that time that this dinosaur was bigger than T Rex and they wanted it to be the big bad of the film and to show that they thought they needed to have a battle and have the Spino kill the T Rex. Now, the question some of you may be asking, am I one of those people in the Jurassic Park fan base that was decrying, oh my gosh, the Spino would never kill a T Rex or whatever? At the time, I was one of those where I was like, yeah, like the T Rex would have killed the Spino because there's one moment in the fight where the T Rex grabs the back of the neck of the
Mhm.
Spino, and I'm like, that's it, because the T Rex's bite is the most powerful terrestrial land animal bite ever recorded. That would have severed the spinal cord of the Spino, and that would have been it. Um,
Mhm.
I back in the day, I wasn't up in arms about it, but I was like, yeah, that's not real. But as I've gotten older, like I'm going, whatever. Like it's a movie. The Spinosaurus, in a general sense, was a bigger dinosaur, but as we found out through science, anyone who has been keeping up with paleontology in recent years we realized Spinosaurus did not exactly look like what it does here in the movie. Spinosaurus, and you can just look it up. I'm not going to show anybody here due to time, but Spinosaurus was probably more of a quadruped and probably spent more time in the water than it did on land. Probably ate fish. Maybe, yeah, would eat some dinosaurs and stuff, but maybe wouldn't actively hunt them and that sort of thing. But in a general sense, yeah, it was bigger than a T Rex in terms of length and all that. But um, yeah, I think it's funny when you have some fan bases that get all up in arms about certain things, like the T Rex versus Spino battle, which is still going on in some Jurassic Park fan group circles. But um, for me personally, over 21 years, I still find this to be an entertaining dino film, even though there's not much of a story, which is fine. It's just a general popcorn film. But unfortunately, I think the movie's entertainment value tends to wane pretty quickly after the first half. But I still think it's a fun film. I like it. Um, so it's kind of neat to see a different giant carnivore, as part of the film. But I would have
Mhm.
done things differently. Let's just say that if I were directing or writing the story of this. But what we got, I think it's fine. I think it's a fine film.
Mhm. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, that it just felt like yesterday, both you and I went to go see this film in theaters, but I honestly can't remember the last time I've seen this movie, but I can still remember some of the parts throughout this movie, and I also agree with you. In my opinion, that this film in the original trilogy probably the weakest one out of the three, and if you combine it with um, the most recent trilogy, probably in the lower half. I'm not quite entirely sure yet where I would place it. So far, I probably one of these times maybe go through all six of them and then just kind of compare uh, all six of them and see where this would be placed. But yeah, I can remember coming out of the theater and saying it was okay, uh, sort of movie. Yeah, I wasn't quite thrilled with some of the filler or some of the low moments in here, and yeah, I was kind of one of those that like didn't really care who about the whole bout between the T Rex and the Spinosaurus uh, fight there. It would have like what you said. It would have been nice if they had it towards uh, the end of the film, kind of like what they've done with you know Jurassic World and uh, Dominion as well. There, where they had the T Rex pretty much coming in at the very end of these main bouts and everything. So yeah, so it's an okay film from what I can remember, as far as remembering the few scenes in this movie. Even though it's been, gosh, I don't even know how long since I've last seen the film, but I can still remember some of the things that go on in Jurassic Park 3. So yeah, so kind of sort of looking forward to it. I probably will still have the same opinions once after we finish the whole commentary of Jurassic Park 3.
I mean, I will say this. Look, even though it's a plain Jane type of a film, which, like I said, is not necessarily a bad thing, um, I think when you compare the entire library of dinosaur type movies that have ever been produced, this still would be like way up and near the top because of the quality Universal put into all six of these movies. Regardless of what your opinion is, I think everybody should agree that, yeah, good money was spent to at least put these together, to create good animatronics, to create good effects, that sort of thing. That um, these at the time they were made anyways were some of the most accurately depicted dinosaurs at the time. Like I said, the Spinosaurus in reality didn't look like what it does now, from what we found out. But at the time in 2001, this is what they believed Spino,
Hmm.
kind of in a general
Yeah,
sense, looked like.
and when it came to some of the close-ups of some of the live for life-size animatronics of T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and maybe some of the other dinosaurs throughout this film here that I would say particularly the Spinosaurus one animatronic. I don't know. It didn't quite execute well, in my opinion, compared to the T-Rex animatronic and some of the other animatronic life-size versions of the dinosaurs. That it, I'm not, I'm not sure what exactly went on with the Spinosaurus animatronic. It just felt a little bit low grade and maybe a bit robotic in some areas.
Fun fact about that. If I remember correctly, they were saying that that spinal animatronic was so powerful it actually, I think, damaged their initial T-Rex animatronic when they were trying to film a sequence of the fight. So then they had to get like the other T-Rex. They used the two T-Rexes from the Lost World and repainted them. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting
Yeah.
little fact here. But let's get on with the commentary here. We're watching it via HBO Max. We're both at the moment where the screen just turned
Mhm.
black. So I'm assuming what's going to come up is the Universal
Mhm.
logo. Um, that's going to pop up here. Lincoln's going to join us. He's never seen the movie before. So that's kind of where we're at. If you're watching it via Blu ray or DVD, I think if I understand, the Universal logo is just about to come
Oh,
up
you're at
here.
the Universal
So if you
logo
haven't,
here.
no, I'm
Oh,
not at it. I'm not at it. I said I think the Universal logo is about to
it's
come up. Is what I
for
think's
the
going to happen.
HBO Max version. It's going to have the HBO movie home presentation and then the Universal logo. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I am already
Oh,
past the
well,
HBO
that's why I
movie
was
things,
asking you.
whatever. Oh, are you
No,
past that?
like I said, I
Here,
was
get
at the
past.
all zeros before we started.
Okay, well, get past that and then quickly let me know here while I explain here. So if
Okay,
you
I'm at the
haven't,
05 mark.
okay, so you're like 3 seconds ahead of me. So if you've never joined us before, I'm going to count down from three. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. When I say go, that's when we hit play or unpause to start the movie.
Yep.
So you ready? All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And then I'm gonna put up
Yep,
the
Universal
little
logo.
image here so you wouldn't have to see our ugly faces.
Zippity doo dah.
The old Universal logo.
It's so
And
crazy
then
how time flies.
the old Amblin film.
I remember at the time we saw it, you know, you have these water ripples. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so
Yeah.
cool now. And then I'm like, finally, they use the real Jurassic Park
Well,
font.
I think the first one did,
It
but just
kind
a
of did. I
different
didn't think it was
color.
all that exciting though. Uh-oh, restricted.
Restricted.
It means like only certain personnel can access it or
Nosedive.
legally access
Nosedive.
it. It's the 64th commentary. No, of since our inception. I thought I could see you at some point here. I guess not.
Maybe off to the side in the
No, I
studio.
don't see you off to the side anywhere. I thought I could always see you off to the side. I'm not seeing you now.
Huh. I know I can
Oh
see
well.
you.
You can?
Yeah,
I
on
can't
my
see
end.
you. Maybe it's because you're hosting.
Probably.
Because yeah, I used to be able to see you all the time.
Yeah,
Let
and
me
that
see.
one sequence there, you can definitely tell when that was sort of filmed on a green screen there. With this movie now being 21 years old, sort of didn't quite age well in some instances when it came to green screen. Oh well. Maybe some of the lighting were a bit off there.
This is driving me nuts that I can't see you. Oh well.
Don't worry
I
about
can't
it.
see you, Jason.
Looks like the dense fog that I'm currently having right now.
Uh-oh. That means dinosaurs are heading your way.
No, we're getting close to Skull Island.
Hey, fun fact, because Universal, well, I shouldn't say it because there was a weird licensing rights going on between Universal and what have you after RKO went under involving King Kong. But you know what they should do instead of this whole potential stupid idea of Fast and Furious meets Jurassic Park? They need to have Jurassic Park meet King Kong, but then a lot of people would argue, well, if you do that, then it's just King Kong, and I'd be like, touche, touche.
Mm-hmm. Settle down, kid. At least you're on a parachute, so you can glide.
It's a no, it's not a parachute. It's what do they call those?
Paraglider.
Parasail?
No,
Maybe
it's some kind of glider.
hang gliding? Is it hang?
Hang,
No, is it hang gliding?
hang gliding, paragliding. I don't know.
Yogurt container. Who cares? I do find it funny that it's not funny, but I think it's ingenious that they call it a dinosaur.
Dad joke right there.
No, that's what they call it. They call it when you look in the parachute. It's called Dino hyphen SOAR. I find it so funny that, granted, I'm getting ahead of ourselves by a few movies, but so many fans, I guess, were disappointed that Ellie and Grant got together. It's like, wasn't that ultimately what many of you were crying about for the last 30 years, and then it's actually happened, and now you're this is like,
Yeah.
I was mad when I saw this movie. I'm like, Ellie, you.
You know, they just seem like how they were back in '93. Maybe aged just a bit, but then compare it to Dominion, like about was it 20? Yeah, 21 years
Well, yeah, but
from
when
now.
this came out, you're talking 8 years between the first one and this,
Yeah.
so it's not as long. That it's so funny because I watched Dominion here like maybe 4 or so days ago, and looking at him now, I'm like, holy mackerel, it's people in their 20s. Like, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
I think Laura Dern, especially though, has really changed in the last 21 years.
Hmm.
It's too bad though that she was like blackballed from Hollywood. I think it was like shortly after this.
Was there some kind of situation that happened?
Yeah, if you look, I don't exactly remember. I think she said something, and like Hollywood by and large didn't touch her for like 20, 25 years almost. They study brain cases. That's how they know. I'll call you. It's like Burgess Meredith in the first Grumpy Old Man. Well, I got something to offer. That'd be funny if Grant said that. Now, what he's about to say here in a couple of moments, I think, is very important. This, I think, is what many, even diehard fans of Jurassic Park, seem to forget. I'm not so sure I buy into that, but I would say your giant carnivores, if not your more bird-like dinosaurs, maybe. Which raptors kind of were, but I don't think specifically raptors. Raptors maybe would have been a part of that, but not the soul.
Like a whole lot of people aren't quite as enthused in that.
Coming up here. Right here. That to me, I think, is probably the most important quote of the entire Jurassic Park and World franchise when it comes to fans discussing it, because fans are like, and look, I'm a, you know, a fanboy paleontologist. I don't go around going, something like that's wrong. They got it wrong. And it's like, okay, on some level, they tried doing the best that they could with some of the dinos at the time that they made the movies. But at the same time, too, like with the Dilophosaurus and all that, and they even talked about this in the first movie, there were gaps in the genetic code of just about every dinosaur that they cloned. And what they ended up doing was, in those gaps, they put in frog. Now, granted, they ended up, as time went on, ended up putting other reptile or amphibian DNA in some of those gaps to try to create more pure or more fantastical offshoots of certain species of dinosaurs. So again, this is sort of, hammering the point home that these are not 100% pure dinosaurs like from 65 million years ago.
Right. Explosions.
If they shot that at me, I would have grabbed it and been like, "Ha, puny." Fort Peck.
It's a lake of pecks.
That are always flexing. Like
Oh, yeah,
Norman Smiley, you remember him?
Yeah. And this dude right here, he seems like one of those forgettable type of characters.
That more or less is kind of his purpose, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, he only appears in this and then never comes back again.
Well, in this movie, yes.
Yeah.
And you
As
want to
far
know
as
how
the whole trilogy, both Park and World, like, he doesn't come back in World, so it's like, yeah, it's just a one off.
well, you could say that about a number of characters, but you want to know how you can tell, though, too, is when you realize his name is Billy. Uh-oh.
If it's those kinds of people that are named Billy or Kenny, they're going to be one-off characters.
I had the movie freeze on me for like 5 or so seconds here.
That ain't good.
I'm at the point where they just started showing like the scan of the raptor skull, and they're doing
It's a precursor
3D
to
printing.
3D printing back in 2001.
Gosh, oh no. This movie's starting to freeze on me. You know what I'm gonna do? Because this has happened to us several times. I think if I have the physical movie, I'm going to put that in instead of doing HBO Max. I think HBO Max is conspiring to throw us off because every time we've done it, we've started about the same time. They're like, "Oh, those two nut jobs are podcasting again." Like,
I haven't had that happen to me yet.
yeah, I don't know
The only,
what's
the
going
only
on.
times it ever did anything on me was on my end where I tried to do something and I sort of effed it up a bit.
And please call us by the name of Felicity H. McMuffin.
Billy kind of looks like a poor man's Nickelback.
So this song you hear in the bar,
I
uh,
like how he didn't say anything in response.
I don't mind Nickelback, um, but this song that you hear in the bar is actually the last track on the Jurassic Park III soundtrack. I am not joking. And when I listened to this soundtrack back in the day, I'm like, why in the hell did they do this? This song is awful.
Do you know who sang it?
No.
So it's that forgettable, huh?
Well, I didn't like. I'm not a this. It's like a hardcore country song, and I'm not a fan of hardcore country. But let me quickly look it up here.
Hardcore country. That just sounds bad. Like gangster rap country or whatever.
Let's see here. Called Big Hat No Cattle, and
What?
you can tell. Oh, it's by Randy Newman. Oh, fuck off, Randy.
Oh no. Oh
I'm
no.
disappointed, Randy. I expect better from you.
With Tia Leone, she is pretty hot, in my
Still
opinion.
is.
Yeah.
It's like she doesn't really age much.
Because was like her latest appearances in that, was it the Hillary type of
It was it's
she's
called
supposed
Madam
she's supposed to,
Secretary.
yeah.
We went through that series. It's an interesting series, but yeah, it doesn't seem like she ages much. A lot of
Here, I'll
people laugh at the upcoming dream sequence, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's a little funny,
yeah, I sort of forgot about that.
but it's to me, it's like people are making such a big deal out of something stupid because it's like, you know how many stupid things happen in your dreams every week, and you guys think this is so funny. Like I've had goofier things happen in my dreams than something like
Mhm.
a talking raptor. Give me a break.
Yeah. Alan.
It's so funny. I don't have anything that stupid happen in my dreams. Talking hand.
So like walking around and being in public naked in your dream, that's not embarrassing at all to you.
Or watching like some inanimate object talk to you and walk around or something.
Yeah.
Or having your pet actually speak to you in English. Hey, butthole, how are you? Or
Going
like
back into Skull Island.
being in your home and stepping out of a desert all of a sudden. Like,
He's in the Wizard of Oz. He's in the tornado. They're gonna crash in the clouds. You can go through clouds.
That'd be funny if Billy like stuck his hand out the window and was like able to grab cloud and realize it's made out of cotton candy. Try some.
But then you're gonna decompress the cabin and stuff. You try to
And then you have like that
open up
scene
any
of that
window or
weird
door of an
freakish
airplane.
alien from Alien Resurrection as it was being pulled out of the
Or ET.
oh alien. Why?
Are those windmills in the background? Look like I
Oh,
saw
I
windmills.
missed that. That'd be funny if it was. Oh gosh, yeah, that could be. Like you're 10 seconds or so ahead of me now because I had that freezing happen a few times.
How could you forget?
I wonder when we're gonna finally be able to see Jason.
How about you pause yours for like like a few seconds? Because yeah, you're
Okay.
like 10, 15 seconds ahead of me.
I'm at 1920. Okay. And see, he doesn't realize what they're actually doing.
Not yet, no. One thing everybody must know when you watch. Oh my gosh, it's freezing again. You must know when William H. Macy is in a movie, never trust William H. Macy,
Who's William H. Macy?
the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, that guy passed away some years ago.
Who?
William H. Macy,
He did not die.
the one that's bald with the mustache. Is that who you're talking about?
No, William H. Macy, the guy who plays Kirby.
Oh, you're talking about him now. Okay, never mind.
So the other guy died?
Yeah, some years back. Yeah.
Wow. From what?
Not sure exactly. Let me check here. Michael Jeter, that's the guy who I was thinking of. Oh, he actually died just 2 years after March 30th, 2003 at age 50.
Jeez. Does it say from what?
Let's see here. Passed away of complications after an epileptic seizure.
Oh, jeez.
Musical Part 3. This one guy.
I will say this about Jurassic Park 3. It doesn't take long to just get right into the heart of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is. I know what's gonna happen because I've seen the musical of this thing before. and
Yes, I know you've seen the.
Crash the plane.
I will say though, this is a really cool, exciting introduction to the Spino.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they should put him in more movies other than just one.
Well, fanboys would be all up in arms. Why'd you bring the Spinos in there?
Yeah, I think with all 6 Jurassic Park films that they don't really get into a lot of the action quite as fast as this movie.
Yeah, well, and this is the shortest one out of the entire franchise. That I mean, if you don't count the credits, you're probably talking what, an hour 20 or something like that.
Hmm.
We didn't ask.
And then kind of the whole gag throughout this entire film, now that I can remember, is that the satellite phone keeps on raining and stuff in the
Yeah.
Spinosaurus.
And then the Ceratosaurus later on breaking the fourth wall after smelling Spino poo.
Yeah.
I kind of like the little peekaboo moment here coming up. Right there. Spino eye, and then oops, it disappears. Oh, come on.
You're joking.
This thing keeps periodically freezing. What the hell is going on?
You just said the H word.
Yeah, next time if I have I'm using a DVD or whatever. I'm sick of this. Yeah. The little drop of blood that gets on Taya Leone's face, man. Like, I don't know if that was intentional or what, but and then the blood and stuff, like, ooh, man meat coming out of that mouth. This fuselage scene, though, is fun. Fun fact is that Joe Johnston, this movie, wanted to direct the sequel to Jurassic Park because typically Spielberg is not interested in doing sequels, but after Spielberg changed his mind um, and directed Lost World, Johnston, I think, was a little disappointed, and so then they were like, "Yeah, you did for sure can direct Part 3."
It's Jurassic Park 1 all over again.
You guys could have just gotten out of the plane sooner.
It's not that easy, dude. I like the Spino running in the open here. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
One of the dumbest things I keep hearing from, fanboys of the first Jurassic Park movie is, how come the dinosaurs keep looking worse after Jurassic Park? I'm like, dude, no, they actually look better. The animatronics look better. The computer effects look better. I remember when they made this one, they were saying for the first time ever, the computer technology was there to where they could make like the muscles and other elements of the body wiggle as they moved because they couldn't do that in the first two movies.
Hmm.
And it's just like, you people are so stupid. I'm sorry, but you are. Like, the dinosaurs, regardless of what you think of the movies, the dinosaurs do look better with each movie.
Hmm.
Is that another T-Rex?
That's a different one.
Oh, it's not actually. My bad. They could have just had like it not like the younger one though, if like you don't know if it's a kid or something.
You want an ass whooping too?
I was just gonna say there too.
And then now Alan finally realizes why they're there.
When are we ever gonna chase him?
I don't know. It's just I don't think it's gonna happen. Hold on, nature calls.
What do you think of the movie so far? I think your dad had it on the microphone on mute there. Can't hear you.
I did that intentionally. I had it on mute.
I think I just realized when I saw his mouth moving, it's like I think you turned off the mic there.
That's funny. Just like to see that sequence. None of your business.
Get off my back.
Literally, get off my back. Get off my plane.
Get off my island.
Yeah, that would be a twist. We find out that William H. Macy actually lives on this island. Somehow he got off of it and is
I don't know how
calling
you
Alan
managed.
Grant and his ex-wife to come
I'm not
onto
sure how
the
you
island
would
so he
manage
can
to
hunt
be on
them.
the island.
It's like a Lord of the Flies sort of thing.
Like I don't know what he would live on. Like little dinosaurs or something. I
Yeah,
forget,
be
like,
living
the
off
name.
of any, berries or whatever that may grow on the island, and then probably be hunting things like compies and
Yeah.
some of the herbivores. Tastes like chicken.
He'd be built
Everything
like a
tastes like
Viking.
chicken.
He'd be built like a Viking or some kind of strong dude just after hunting all these herbivores and all that stuff.
Not necessarily, no, because because you'd be running around an awful lot and doing things for survival purposes. Like you wouldn't be buff or anything like that. You probably more or less would look like what he does now.
I think he'd
McDonald's
probably
and
be
American
built.
food is what does to you what most of the people look like here.
I think he'd be built a little bit more, and especially probably have a big ass beard or something.
Yeah, he would. I would say this: he would have lean muscle and less fat, but he would be like ripped in a skinny way.
And then maybe with long hair too.
And toenails.
Oh. Keep it
Quiet.
down. It's like, just the way how they kind of trip over some of the stuff. It just looks like they're like randomly just throwing their hands up in the air for no apparent reason.
It makes me wonder how much of that was real and how much of it is fake. So, as director, I want you to stutter step about every 2 steps.
This is all there is left.
That'd be funny if Grant's like, "Well, we found it. Nothing here. He's dead. Let's go." What do you mean he's dead? Oh, you think something's gonna survive on this island? Look at that thing that we just walked away from. Yeah, right.
I don't think that would actually work.
D batteries are the solution.
Like he threw a frisbee at the one guy's dick holding that camcorder.
That'd be funny if they threw the frisbee, it like broke the camera, like it hit it just hard enough to where it, like jarred something inside the camera and they didn't realize it the entire time. It's like, oh, that's it. You do realize that when you watch a lot of people's home movies, they don't know how to keep a camera still, that you get so motion sick
Yeah.
from it. Like, that's one of the things. If you're going to take video, you really need to do a good job of trying to keep it steady.
Or like some of the newfound footage type of
Oh, that makes me
movies.
so sick to watch.
Yeah. Even the first Cloverfield one, that I kind of sort of got a little bit of a headache from that.
I did too. I mean, I would have liked the movie more if it just was more steady cam. If it did that, I would have been like, "Oh, hey." And eventually we're going to have to cover that thing.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if it fell down. She's like, "Oh, hi, honey," and then starts making out with it. And it's so funny here in a moment. She's like, "It's not about him. It's about Eric." It's like, oh, you're one of those people. I don't care if he died, but
Can you hear me? Are you deaf? We're all alone now.
and look, there are raptor eggs. Let's share. We're so stupid.
Isn't that how it always ends up when we do commentary?
And for anybody who's not aware, like if we were actually watching this without doing a podcast, this is exactly how we would be watching the movie anyway.
Hey, can you take a look at these oval-looking white things here? Do you know what they are? Look.
I thought you were gonna be like, "Can you take a look at these old saggy things?"
Yeah, them too.
Where you were going. I thought that's where you were going. And then Dr. Grant's like, what Hammond created here are genetic monstrosities, nothing more, nothing less.
It's like we're in deep doo-doo. And then Billy's like, oh, shit.
Breakfast. It's like Harvey from Planet of the Dinosaurs. Eggs Benedict for a week, scrambled eggs, sunny side up, cheese omelet. But then, can you imagine what must have laid these? We're looking at fried chicken for a month.
Billy, quit being a douche and take those eggs out.
What are you talking about? Your name's Billy. That makes you the douche in the movie.
Whoever named you Billy ought to be ashamed.
My parents, then your parents need to be ashamed of themselves.
Billy's my nickname. Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Now, how stupid can you be to nickname yourself Billy? What's your
What's your angle?
what's your actual name? Winston.
Boy, there must have been a riot going on in here. Now you go on and do it. You tell Tia to knock it off, but then you go on and do it, you hypocrite. Oh yeah, like it's gonna work.
We're only 45 minutes into the movie with another 45 minutes left. You honestly expect us to believe that's gonna work? Hey, it works. We're on Isla Sorna. Help us. 5 minutes later, credits roll. Dun 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 dun. Well,
that's
crap. That was a short movie.
Yeah, like with the vending machines, like those are gonna work. And then you have Billy just do the correct way when they're not even working. Break in.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I guess that's kind of funny, anyways, because you don't expect him maybe to necessarily be a bad boy. But at the same time, knowing that the island by and large is probably abandoned, would you honestly be like, okay, I got a couple of ones here. Let's actually, pay for the food here instead of me
Yeah.
trying to find something to swing at and be like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like
We're
no
in a fight
one's
for our lives.
like no one's gonna catch you trying to steal stuff.
Considering what took place on this island, do you think petty theft is going to be high on the crimes list?
Yeah.
I think so.
You're wrong.
Boy, that's an ugly thing.
Are those little dinosaurs?
Hey, those were inspired from my baby photos, Jason. Like, nice now.
I remember this one being a bit scary.
It was creepy. Yes, it was a little creepy because I remember seeing it and I'm like, why would a raptor, like a raptor head? But then when you think about it too, it's kind of funny that the raptor would be that still.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
Or
it's a
being that,
movie.
at least that intelligent.
Proto feathers on raptors.
So stupid. Like,
I think this is when they sort of start to realize that raptors could have like feathers on them.
Yeah, I mean, they actually, I think, even by the time the Lost World was being produced, were already kind of suspecting raptors may have had feathers.
It's a game of tug of war.
and he literally just made. That's so funny to see. Like, the raptor just made its own food get stuck.
Yeah, Alan, don't stay in there.
No, he's calling for takeout.
Mm.
He's done hunting. That'd be funny if Grant like just tripped and then he starts crying and everybody's like, Grant, get up, and they have to pull him away. He's like, ah.
Get out of the way.
They missed out on an opportunity here for to have something similar happen here, like what happened when the Gallimimus were running in the first movie, where they could have had the Spinosaur come out here. I know it's about the raptors, but still, you could have had a cool moment of like the Spinosaur taking down one of the hadrosaurs here, and then maybe the raptors and Spinosaur facing off or something like that.
Ugh. I can remember in the trailers and stuff, it seems like another sort of gag where dinosaurs kept on looking to the back.
Yeah. Well, they do that in a lot of movies where you have anybody looking backward. That's always for dramatic effect, either for like um, drama or to make it seem like, oh, they're so powerful, or
Hmm.
it'd be funny if the raptors whispered into Udesky's ear, "If you want to live, you will say you have a Twinkie. Here's a Twinkie. Flash it in front of them. Bring them down. If you're successful, we will let you live. If not, we will have to kill you." And it'd be like, "Here's a Twinkie. Come on down."
Doesn't it look yummy? Yeah, what are they saying, Alan? Tell me.
Hey, everybody.
A lot of neck breaking in this movie. Should have been called Neckbreaker Park.
Hmm. I would like to know how that raptor knew Alan was right there.
It's called Hollywood.
Hmm. Come on, do the Chris Pratt moment.
And then the raptor like comes and snatches the hand, and then they rip them apart.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah, you're my boy. More like you're my girl, Blue. It'd be funny if Alan didn't see that trunk there and ran right into it.
Of course I do. Boy.
Know my name.
You know, for all realness here, you probably wouldn't have lived for this long.
How did you live this long, Billy? The script called for it. What? The script called for it? You mean we're
Wait a
in a
second.
movie?
Wait
Yeah,
a second.
so that means I could pull out a machine gun from behind my back and it would magically appear. Exactly, try it.
Wait a second. Your name's Billy too? That's all I got is a can of beans. Beans
Bad
galore.
cough there, Grant. You might want to get that checked out.
You know, with that size of a can, it's like you'd be so full.
I was just about to ask. I'm like, was that full when he started, or like,
I would have to assume that was.
can you imagine what his stomach will be going through in about 3 hours after
Especially with
eating that
beans.
many beans?
Especially with beans being all fiber.
It's just like you might as well just eat straw or something.
I could just imagine him like eating one.
It's so funny. At some point later, he's like, "Hold on, Eric," and then he goes into a bush, and you just hear him go. And just- I'll be right there.
I could just like imagine like
and then the kid would be like, you know, Alan, I just ran out of my last roll of toilet paper.
Here's some poison ivy.
Now my ass is gonna be all itchy.
All these welts and stuff on it.
Oh no. I hear dilly squatting. Shut up, Billy.
You can tell those definitely look fake right there, which is unfortunate.
what looks fake.
Those plants there hanging beside them. A nice ankylosaur look.
What are you dead? What, are you starting to lose it now?
Yes! I'm going wacky! And you start to see his eyes like go in either direction. I couldn't be any better.
Insane? Me? Never. They were having a moment.
Yeah, cut that out. It's not necessary.
And then the Spinosaurus comes up and grabs him.
I was just about to say. And then Alan starts crying, like, how am I going to live now? He was my only hope. Shh, too loud.
And Alan slips and goes right into the pond.
It's sort of like that G.I. Joe one where the kid's falling off of an ice cliff. And then you see Rambo hidden in the tree and he attacks Billy.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from Predator comes out of nowhere.
And he starts the wail like he did to get the Predator's attention.
Yeah.
Come on, kill me, I'm here! Kill me!
You know, I peed in that river. Ah! Blah!
Considering the incline there, yeah, it probably ran down. Although maybe the water was going down the other direction, so it wouldn't affect Billy. So,
You know, liquids will always find a way.
nature finds a way.
It's hard and poo. Don't touch. Even though I'm handling it right now.
Look what I baked this morning. There are a lot of vines in this forest.
Trying to make it look all jungly.
I have to definitely say at this point in the movie, like it's been a pretty entertaining film so far, and yeah, we're kind of in a lull moment, which is fine because you had,
I mean, we
what, maybe
mentioned
10,
about it
15 minutes.
earlier.
What's that?
So I mean, we mentioned about it earlier before we started the movie. Where it kind
Yeah.
of gets in that lull area.
The unfortunate thing is, in my opinion, after this upcoming action sequence, this is kind of when the movie really, I think, takes more of a drop in fun.
Shut up!
The swelling music is kind of funny here a little bit.
Just seeing that rope and wiring and stuff, it just kind of reminds me of one of those jungle gyms.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be like metal roping or wiring there.
I think it's supposed to be, but just the way it
Right,
is,
yeah.
I think it's just actually rope.
Why not go ahead and climb that, Alan? I mean, I think you can get over that.
With all the spikes. Yeah, no problem at all. It's gonna be a cakewalk. You just like how the Spinosaurus just stands right there.
Yeah, it's Hollywood. In real life, the Spinosaurus, if it saw him, would have gone after him without.
Yeah. Or they would have at least, like those people on the other side, would have at least seen him right away.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is in a lot of these movies. It's like the ending of the first Jurassic Park. How did the T-Rex magically appear out of nowhere without either Grant, Ellie, the kids, and the raptors knowing about it? And even in Fallen Kingdom during the island destruction sequence when the T-Rex comes out of nowhere to kill the Carnotaur.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what these movies are known for.
And then, when the Spinosaurus was going after them when they were closing the door, you think you would have ran right through that right away before them locking.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty heavy locking system. I think but yeah, after a couple of bashings, that door would have gave way.
Yeah. Now you gone and done it, Billy.
It's not safe. I'm stashing away candy bars that I was hoping to not share.
I'm gonna dick you right now, Billy.
That'd be funny if he did and strangled him and threw him out the window there.
This is why you never come back. This is why you're only a one-off character.
This is why you're my apprentice. And you know what happens when apprentices betray their masters?
Although that never happens in Star Wars, but this is Jurassic Park, boy.
Yeah. In this universe, Star Wars doesn't exist. What is Star Wars again? Exactly.
Do it, Alan! Don't take the rain. I mean the eggs.
Yeah, but you're walking dinner, though, too. So I think they're going to come after you anyway. They'll still kill you. So regardless, they're still going to kill you. That'd be funny if Billy said, "That's it. I've had enough," and jumps out.
Boy, it went from nice and sunny to just dreary, foggy.
I mean, fog is very much a trope of mood setting, but you know what? It still is always effective. Ah! Oh, scared me.
Well, we aren't going down there.
That'd be funny if Grant looks over to William H. Macy and is like, "Why don't you go check it out?" and pushes him.
I can't see in this fog.
That'd be funny. You know how in the first movie, Grant, when they're testing out the gates there, and he makes it seem like he's being electrocuted, and he freaks out the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny as he maybe got like a little ways along and we couldn't see him if he just went, ah! It seemed like he fell. Like that's an ongoing character trait of Grant, is he always makes it seem like he's getting killed somewhere.
Well, only this time all the guys just gain up on him and just beat him down.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. It's just a joke. Oh. That's a creepy look, William. Pteranodon like poops on his head or something. Like that's when you realize you're not alone.
Ew, that's poop that you're smelling.
Yeah, you're still like 10 seconds ahead of me.
What are you picking up poop?
That's right, son. I'm trying to scare you.
Have you seen the movie The Birdcage?
Funny movie.
And then drops him. And enter the movie.
The whole point of the movie has been, well, Killed. No kidding. Nobody can.
What if we could see like where they just like fall out of this?
Don't unzip your pants. I never said to actually commit suicide.
Why not?
It'll be funny with Billy on the paraglider. Like he was trying to grab the kid, but then he misses and then runs right into the cliff.
Eric. And then he looks over to Grant and he goes, I tried. This is giving me flashbacks to when I played the Lego Jurassic World game.
Yeah.
See, it says dinosaur. It wasn't some dad joke I made up.
Can also be a dad
The
joke.
movie did that for me. This whole movie's a dad joke.
That's gotta hurt. Well, he did run into a cliff there after all.
Undo your buckle, that's for sure.
Hell, that suited Billy. He's doomed.
When this happened, when you first watched it, did you actually think Billy was dead?
Not sure.
I did in the theater.
Well, that's pretty much it of him. And then you have another moment where a dinosaur just turns its head.
Lincoln just laughed at that, and he's never seen this movie before. He just laughed at that moment.
He like so
Even for an 8-year-old, he's even saying like that's just a trope. It's so funny. They're swimming. It's like, dude, you could stand up and walk.
Yeah. Now they're pulling a Rambo 3 here. going down the river on one of those tugboat things.
That'd be funny if Grant's like, "Hey, this reminds me of my favorite novel, Tom Sawyer. Let's play that, okay?"
I used to like Billy until he pulled that stint on me.
That'd be funny if when Eric said sorry about Billy, Grant goes, "Yeah, whatever." He was actually my worst student. I was trying to do him a solid. He paid me 15 grand, and I said, "I'll fix your grades for you." Like, find out Grant's committing academic fraud for Billy.
Oh man.
Jurassic Park After Dark. The side of your favorite characters that you've never seen before.
Oh man, I'm in so much debt.
And besides, Billy owed me anyways. About 2 weeks ago, when I was at the bar where I met your parents, I got a little drunk, and a couple of these biker dudes were saying something about my mom. I decided to get into a fight, and before things got too bad, Billy broke it up.
And then the Spinosaurus comes out of nowhere, just starts killing the Brachiosaurus.
Mercilessly. More or less like what the Indominus did in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that coloring and pattern on the Brachiosaur. Again, that shot alone, it's like, you can't tell me that Brachiosaur shot is worse than the one you saw in the first Jurassic Park. Come on.
Well, in the first one, you can start to see a little bit of aging.
Yeah, I mean some of the computer graphic moments in that movie, yeah, have not aged too well.
Look at that pile of poo steaming.
It's 3 separate piles. Like, wouldn't it be one pile? Yeah, Kent. The
Ugh.
logistics of poo dumping is what you're concerned with.
Just imagine the stench. And put it up right in your face.
Well, I mean, when you're desperate and you're fighting for your life, like. Thank you. The breaking of the fourth wall.
It's my reflection.
And then Grant goes, "You've done this before, huh?"
Look at my reflection.
Let's make a wish, shall we? Anybody got a quarter?
I know William Macy does. He's got some coins, apparently.
Where are your parents? What
Wait, how do
makes
you
you
know
think
how to pick
that's
up a
okay?
phone?
Games, I go to the bathroom for game. What is going on?
Yeah, your cheeks should be split open there, dude.
Hmm.
This
Way
is
to
a
go,
pretty good
check yourself.
action sequence. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing you're going to see in the movie or in the entire saga. I mean, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Is Barney still around anymore?
No, they ended that years ago. I think they did a final episode
Wow.
that I remember seeing. Like someone did like a YouTube video on it.
Like this just came up. It's like bring the phone to mom and daddy, and then he's like, "You are my daddy."
Oh, jeez. Oh, did you hear what Lincoln said?
What?
Lincoln was like, "This just came to mind. That'd be funny if Grant said, take the phone to mommy and daddy." And then Charlie's daddy comes in and Charlie goes, "You're not my daddy."
No, he says, "You are my daddy."
Where'd you guys go? I'ma find
Argle
you.
blargle. Looks like he has an energy drink coming out of his shirt pocket there. Red Bull gives you. That'd be funny if he had a Red Bull, drank it, and then he sprouted like Pegasus wings and was able to fly out and like distract the Spinosaur while at the same time flying everybody to safety. What kind of a wackadoo ending would that be?
Yeah, for some apparent reason, he gets superpowers too from it.
Like Popeye.
Yeah.
Sorry, she actually would have been like jabbed and killed here. Like, there's no real way for her to have been kept. And the thing is, you don't see her like bleeding or have a scar or anything like that after they come out of this.
Or just like dying from all the cuts, because I mean, just claws on Spinosaurus itself are pretty damn huge. You would have a huge
Well,
opening.
well, yeah, and given the fact that she couldn't hide behind anything, that Spino should have had her.
And then Macy's character too, just hanging from the crane like that. The Spinosaurus would have had him by now.
Yeah, grabbed him by the foot and had him. Apparently, and I don't know if this, was verified by the actual producers of Jurassic World, but I know there for a while there was a fan theory the Spinosaurus skeleton that Rexy bashes through at the end of Jurassic World was supposed to be the skeleton of this Spinosaur.
Hmm.
And then Joe Johnston, because there was a fan theory for many years that the T Rex that got killed earlier was the baby T Rex from the Lost World. And then here, about a year and a half or so ago, Joe Johnston said, "Yeah, it is the baby T Rex." But I kind of thought, like,
Oh.
Joe Johnston, I think, just wants people to shut up and it's just like. but it's like for something like that, I ask the fans like, what does it matter? Like, why does that matter to you? It's
Yeah.
a random T Rex. I mean, and I paid the guy off, and he said, "I'll see you later."
That's such a wonderful bedtime story.
And I never saw Betsy again. So this Betsy, like, where does he or she live? It's my crossbow. You named your crossbow Betsy. You don't name your crossbow.
I thought everyone named their crossbow.
Isn't that like the third or fourth time in this movie, if not fifth, where they're like, "You hear that?"
I don't know. I've lost track.
I'm willing to bet it's at least 5 times.
Yeah, calm down, Alan.
That raptor there looks like one of the Atrociraptors from Dominion.
I mean, gosh, I mean,
Just arbitrarily thinks, eeny, meeny, miny, you did it. That'd be funny if he accidentally like held them too tight and crushed them. And then he goes, oops.
Or that when Tia Leone just slightly puts them down on the sand, they just all of a sudden break.
And then she just kind of goes, ah, well, you can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. The precursor to the orca.
Yeah. Like, we're done here. Yeah, as soon as the one raptor there picks the egg up with their mouth, that breaks.
Or like they pick them up and you think they're carrying them away and then they eat them. And they're like, what in the world? And then they realize, oh, that was a different dinosaur species egg. Like they were coming after us because they wanted to eat those two eggs. That's what the whole movie was about.
It's like the raptors would then tell them, it's like, ha, we tricked you.
Yeah, and you just realize, oh man, that's what we've been watching for an hour and a half. This is kind of goofy, but oh well, I'm willing to go with it.
I sort of forgot that that they had the army come in.
they can go across water.
I mean, with as much firepower there, do you honestly think though that maybe while they're there, they're gonna comb at least part of the island and exterminate any dinosaurs?
With like throwers and all that.
Actually, no, they couldn't because now I remember at the end of the Lost World when Hammond is talking in the camera, they somehow got Isla Sorna to be an official sanctuary. So I guess technically they couldn't go in there and start blasting away.
And Alan's like, how are you alive, Billy?
Or he
I
takes a
thought you
pillow and
did.
smothers him. And then, by the way, he goes, by the way, who names their child Billy? He's still hung up on that.
You still owe me money, Billy.
And then he like starts punching him over the pillow.
To your
Pteranodon
house.
was on course to go through the propellers there. Wah!
They're going to your house, Eric.
He's like, not only the helicopter would be going down, but then the trainer.
And we never do find out what happened to these pteranodons.
You never know.
Let's go home. And then Tia goes, no shit, where do you think we were going to go? Well, I thought maybe you'd say McDonald's. Because you lost all that weight. I mean, that's how you got fatty 2x4. Just...
I cannot tell if that's like under the clouds or above the clouds or anything like that.
They're going to heaven.
yeah, that's where they're going. Well, that's basically it.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the end of 2001's Jurassic Park 3. So, Lincoln, what'd you think of it? You liked it? Okay. So, Jason, you're the one that's been longer for you. What'd you think of it?
It's still basically the same movie that I remember from the last time I've seen it. Yeah, I can still remember quite a bit of it from long ago. So it's after seeing it again, it's still an okay still an okay movie there, and yeah, I can still remember this Billy guy still being that guy that yeah, you probably would want to do a bitch slap too. So yeah, overall it's still an okay movie. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, again, for anybody who is not familiar with how we do things, I mean, we a lot of times crack jokes at just about every movie we do a commentary on, even movies that we really love. And it's just kind of what we do. But, all jokes aside and everything, I still think it's a fun adventure movie. I mean, it's a very simple plot. There's nothing magical about it. It's not about the cloning and genetics and that sort of thing like you got from the first
basically
movie.
it's a
I mean,
it's a
Lost World.
straightforward rescue movie. I mean, there's not a whole lot to add to it. It's just a search and rescue movie. So
In many ways, The Lost World was kind of the
a little
same
bit,
type of
yeah.
film too, and but yeah, I mean, I still think it's a fun film by and large. It's not the best of the series. I don't think it's terrible or anything. It's just unfortunately, like I said a couple times over the course of this podcast, it just seems like the second half is just not quite as fun as the first
Mhm.
half. And I'm a fan of like the giant carnivore stuff. So, those sequences are the ones that get me the most excited. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a fine dinosaur action adventure movie. I think the dinosaurs by and large look pretty good. It's fun. Yeah, I would have organized the film differently, would have done some things differently, but for what we got, I it's fine. I mean, it's good. If I had to give this one a letter grade, I'd give it a C plus. I think it's just slightly above average. It's fine. I mean, it's good
Yeah,
enough.
I would at least give it a C on my end. Like
Mhm.
it's okay, but straightforward. Not much to add beyond that. So
Yeah. And so with that, one piece of housekeeping I forgot to mention when you were doing stuff earlier is December 30th is when we're doing our end of the year episode. We didn't have one last year because Jason
Yep.
fell ill. And so this year we're coming back with that. For those who are not familiar with our year end episodes, those are typically the longest shows of the year. It's basically a smorgasbord of kaiju stuff. What we typically talk about is kind of like the year in review, just sort of things that happened like at G Fest and what happened in cinema were necessary, TV shows, all that stuff were necessary. And then we just kind of talk about random kaiju stuff. And like we said before, be prepared for a lot of anniversary this
Hmm.
particular year. There's a lot that we're going to be covering. I'm even making up some ground for last year. There were some films that had big anniversaries last year. I'm not going to be talking about all of them, but I'm going to be talking about some that had some big anniversaries last year that we couldn't really discuss, and some this year. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun discussion. We're going to have our top 5 favorite kaiju movies of the year, just kaiju films that we've watched over the course of the year and that, we, um, you know, just think are our favorites for the year. So,
Hmm.
um, come join us the day before New Year's Eve and have some kaiju smorgasbord fun. You can get in on it too.
Yeah, so just before we end our live stream here, if you haven't subscribed to us, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you're watching us on YouTube, also smash the like button and hit the notification bell icon to get any notification for when we go live or add any other videos in the future. And you can find us all in one place here at our Linktree uh, URL right in front of you there, linktree/Daikaiju Network. And we're on video platforms besides YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook Live, and as well as Odyssey. And we're also on audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, as well as TuneIn. And you can see both audio and video platforms on our own website at daikaijunetwork.com.
And so, with that, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you in 2.5 weeks for an uber mega episode of Daikaiju Network.
All right. Take care, everyone.